It's a renaissance. People keep trying to tell me, Django, you can't do personal development spirituality like this. You can't run away from capitalism. It's just baked in. Bro, it's not true. The vibes on this side are immaculate. We are changing the way that Western culture has a relationship with personal development spirituality. My first step was to create a book and give it away for free, but give people the option to buy the book. And if they do, figure out how I can give back to them tenfold. One of those things that I've decided to do is actually reread the book and give an update to how I've actually reconnected. And I wanted to give back to social media and the followers who have been connected with me. Please add your piece. And if you want to buy the book, you can get the next 42 chapters in your email as well. But for now, I'm going to read this chapter to y'all. I love you so much. I think you're so amazing. And I think you'll understand what the vibes are for this book and why we're changing everything in the West. Because thought two is, can we unconditionally love anyone if we can't unconditionally love everyone? We are trying to play a limitless game within a framework of limits. It's like the Zen koan of the modern psyche, having a kind of love that is greater than our own mental limits and the different roles we play in everyday life. It's about a love that goes beyond what we usually think and how we act in public. But paradoxically, as we paint our aspirations of this limitless love, the brushstrokes inadvertently reveal the very roles we wish to transcend: the husband, the wife, the loyal friend. The duality of human nature is poetic, yet deeply troubling. In our yearning to love without chains, we often end up forging the very links of those chains, whispering words of affection only to follow it with a silent caveat: but only if you reflect my desires. To genuinely embark on the path of unconditional love, it's imperative to reconcile these contradictions. It requires a harmony where real love meets with the intrinsic human labyrinth of desires and fears. So indeed, we ought to grapple with the existential query: can we unconditionally love anyone if we can't unconditionally love everyone? If we peel back the layers of this question, it becomes evident that by its very essence, unless our hearts are as vast as the cosmos itself, can they truly be open to just one in an unconditional manner. However, the journey towards such expansive love begins inwardly. Alan Watts once said, "You are under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. So why then do we tether our hearts with chains of self-doubt and self-critique?" It's paramount to realize that to offer love unconditionally to another, we must first cultivate an environment of self-compassion, letting our hearts bloom. It's bewildering yet profoundly common to hear souls confess their undying love for another while they remain ensnared in the struggle of self-contempt. Thus, to tread the path of unconditional love, to tread the path of unconditioned love might be to engage in the dance of loving myself first. But I guess I have to ask again, can I truly love anyone unconditionally if I can't love everyone unconditionally, including myself? Now, I say this because, to be vulnerable, at a certain point, I really believed that I unconditionally loved other people, but I did not love myself. I didn't even really like myself. But what I didn't realize for a long time was that I did things for others, but my hope was that they would give back to me what I didn't already have for myself. Because in a weird way, you really only meet versions of yourself outwardly. So what I was trying to do was fill other people's cup and thinking, oh, well, they're going to fill my cup up after I fill their cup up. And so there was this idea that, oh, I can love other people. I can be selfless with other people, but not really love myself. I can love this person, but not love that person. But at the end of the day, that love can't be unconditional because the conditions are right there. The point of this chapter, very early on, I make that small point of like the husband, the wife, the loyal friend. That name then describes the conditions by which I love you. I start to define what it means to be a husband or a wife or a loyal friend, what that means and how you should show up, what that means and what I do for you, what that means that we should like transact. We don't have to be the same person we were 5 minutes ago. We don't have to be the same person we were yesterday. We don't have to hold ourselves to certain commitments if they no longer serve us. We need to let me backtrack. If you are unhappy with your life, you can move to a space of unconditional love for yourself where you're able to say, hey, it's okay. I can change. Hey, it's okay. They can change too. Because once you accept the idea that it's okay for me to change, you can extend that to everyone else. If all of a sudden you find yourself at times looking at others like, who do they think they are? Acting like this, doing this, living their life that way, choosing to not be in a relationship, choosing to be in a relationship, dressing a certain way or whatever, you're just showing, you're just, what's the right word? You're basically pointing the finger at someone else, projecting, but really it's you who you wouldn't allow to be that way. You can't tell other people how they should live. So every time you start judging someone else, you got to recognize this is the same judgment that you have for yourself. And that love that you aren't willing to extend because of the conditions you set for someone else, it's really just the same boundaries you put on yourself. But you got to ask yourself, do you really believe that you can unconditionally love any person? Basically putting no conditions on them, saying how they should live, what they should do, how they have to show up. If you can't do the same thing for everyone, including yourself. And when the physical book comes out, there will be a page after each of these thoughts where you can write your own thoughts of what you believe. It doesn't matter to me what you decide out of this. I just hope that if you're unhappy with the dream that you're in right now, that you wake up to the dream that you wish to have. That's why the book is called I Hope You Wake Up. Until next time, peace.